Hey, here we are again. It's the mid-watch. Let's rig for red and get the party started. So here we are. It's story time. And I got one to tell you that goes back to USS WILL ROGERS and about 1985 while we were in the shipyard. We were doing an overhaul, and we were in Newport News Naval Shipyard and a Tenneco company. So we were in Virginia there, and it was just after the 15th payday, and I think it was a Saturday morning, and we were in the barracks. We're hanging out, and it was Huntington Hall was the barracks we were all staying in, and the boat was getting ready to come out of the shipyard. So we got combined crew and lots of guys, and there were 4 of us hanging out in the barracks room there, and it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, and this one guy is kind of like the ringleader. You know, me and him were thick as thieves, best friends. And his name is Jimmy Grady. And Jimmy says, "Hey Pat, what do you say we get some guys together and we go to Atlantic City? We'll go do the buffet, and we'll roll some dice. You know, maybe play some cards, whatever. We'll have a good time. What do you say? Ain't nothing happening around here." I said, "Okay, Jimmy." I said, "I ain't got a lot of money. I got about $100 left after payday." "Oh, you don't need a lot of money. We'll go there. We'll have a fun time. Come on, trust me." So, when Jimmy said "trust me," there's usually trouble involved. But we had another roommate, and his name was Bill Lewis, and Bill was from Philadelphia, and we got Bill. He had just come back from being on the boat. He'd been the cook the day before, and we got Bill and said, "Hey, Bill, what do you say we go to?" Yeah, let's go to Atlantic City. So we got him, and then we had this young, impressionable kid that was working for us. He was a torpedoman named TJ. And TJ was wet behind the ears. He's just, 18 years old maybe, and from Tennessee, and just no life experience whatsoever. And here he was in the Navy, playing with the big boys. So the 4 of us go out, and we get in Jimmy's little 1983 Mustang. Like I said, it's probably it's got to be 1986 by then, January '86, and the song "That's What Friends Are For" had just come out on the radio, and we got in the car, and it was the #1 song already. It was "That's What Friends Are For," and we got in there, and we're kind of like singing the karaoke tune song thing, getting in the car. And Jimmy's like, "That's enough of that. We got to turn on WFAN. We got to see what happened at the basketball games." So and off we were, driving to Atlantic City. And it's about, 6.5 hours. And we leave out of there, and we go across the bridge, the big bridge, Chesapeake Bay Bridge. And we're heading up, and you pass all these chicken farms. And we drive through the middle of nowhere on the way to New Jersey. But we're up there, and we're telling stories, and we're laughing and joking and cutting up. And Jimmy's telling us all about his adventures in Atlantic City, and where he grew up, and how things were going, and how we were going to make a fortune up in Atlantic City. So away we go. And so we're going, and we're driving, and we're driving, and we're driving, and we're driving, and we finally get in the area. And it's kind of like a mini Las Vegas, And but it's still daylight. We get up there, it's probably, maybe 4 o'clock or so, and it's not yet ready to be dark, but you can still see the lights are on. It's kind of, it's kind of a gray, hazy day, and all the lights are on, and Jimmy's like, "I know where to go. We're going to park at Bally's, because we can get parking validated. We'll have the buffet at Bally's, and then we'll go over to Caesars, and we'll clean the place out." "Yeah, Jimmy. Okay, whatever." So anyway, we go in, and we get in the garage, and we park, and we go in and get on the elevator, and we ride up, and we're walking through, and TJ is like, you hear the sounds of the slot machines, and a ding 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 ding, and he's looking around like a kid in a candy store. "Damn, I never seen nothing like this before." And we're just cruising through, and we're gonna go have some dinner first, right? So Jimmy says, so what we do is we go over here and we go to Bally's and we get the buffet. He says it's like, $5, $6, whatever. He says, good food, good. Yeah, you're gonna like this. Trust me. And we get in there and we'll, he says, then you keep your receipt and that'll validate our parking. So we'll have free parking. So we're in Bally's parking garage, and then we go and we eat at the buffet in Bally's, and it was good. We got in line, and it's just off where all the slot machines are, and they had pork chops and like carved beef and some shrimp and all kinds of different salads, and it's way better than Golden Corral, but it's a buffet, but it's really good food. So we're there and we do that, and you see the cocktail waitresses walking around and in their little outfits and buns hanging out, and TJ's like, man, I can't believe a place like this even exists. There ain't nothing like this in Tennessee. And it's like, no shit, TJ, ain't nothing like this in Tennessee. So anyway, we're done with that, and we're like, well, Jimmy, why don't we go check out No, slots are for losers, man. Nobody play. You're just giving your money away. You don't want that shit. Yeah, I ain't gonna do none of that. Trust me. I gotta go. We gotta go over to Caesars. I know all about it. So off we go. And as we go through the lobby at Bally's, heading out toward, it's like all these streets are named after like Monopoly stuff, right? So we're like at Park Place and Boardwalk, and it's like, hey, no shit. It's Atlantic Avenue, and everything is literally named after like Monopoly spaces. So we're going through though, and we're going through the lobby, and my head just turns and looks, and I stop, and there's this aquarium, and this isn't just a little aquarium. This thing is like 10 foot tall, and it's like probably 30 feet wide. I mean, you could swim in this thing. It's huge, and there are thousands of fish in this thing. It's salt water. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. It had to be easy. It had to be 2,000 gallons, easy. And I'm looking at this, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, wow. And Jimmy's like, Pat, what are you doing? I said, Jimmy, I'm looking at the fish. He says, we're not here to see fish. You want to see fish? We'll go to the fucking aquarium store. What's wrong with you? We're here. Come on, we're here to throw dice. Yeah, I only got so much time. Let's go. Come on. And I'm like, Jimmy, this is, yeah, the hell with that. He says, after we're millionaires, you can come back and look at the fish. Look at the fish. I drive down here 7 hours, and you want to look at the fucking fish. Yeah. Off we go into Caesars. So we go out and we cross the alley and we get into Caesars and we go in, and it's the same thing, only different. But Jimmy had to go to Caesars. There was some draw, some preternatural thing where Jimmy had to go to Caesars. And it's early, it's like, I don't know, by this time it's maybe 5 o'clock, and things are not winding up yet, I'm pretty sure it's a Saturday, right? But it's the middle of the day, but there are the bus loads of seniors they bring in, and they're there putting their quarters in the slots and doing their thing in the slots, and Jimmy's like, no, don't play the slots, those are for losers. So off we go, and we find this crap table, and there's this lady croupier there, and she's there, and Jimmy walks up and says, ma'am, we're in the Navy down in Virginia, and we've never done this before. And could you show us how this game is played? Because we've heard a lot about throwing dice and in the craps game thing, and we'd like you to show us, what to do. So she starts explaining it, and we're all kind of hovered in. And Jimmy kind of looks at me, and he gives me this little sly wink over his shoulder, like, we got a fish on the hook. Well, she's a croupier in a major casino. There's no fish on the hook, but she's explaining to us what craps are and what the point is, and and if we put up a dollar chip here, we can go on the come line, and anyway, so we start, and we all take some money out, and we're small buy-in, we're like $20 a piece, right? And we're gonna do this, and Jimmy's like, well, just kind of follow me a little bit. He says, I think I might know a little bit of this. I think I got maybe some of the hang of it, and she can show us the rest. And he kind of looks at me. He's got this sly smile, like, yeah, we're gonna show her. So we all put $20 in, and we get some chips, and we're just, we're small change. We are cheesy, right? Just $20 a piece, and we're there. And so we start out and put some on, and Jimmy's gonna roll. Jimmy rolls the dice, and first time out of the box, we all got like $2 on the line, and Jimmy rolls a 7. So we all double our money. And she says, see, you're winning money already. And so it did. That's how it started. And Jimmy's rolling, and we get a point, and it's God knows what it was, 5 or 6 or something. Anyway, we're going along, and things are going okay. And the next thing you know, we're all up probably. We started with 20, and we got a little more money out, and we got some chips going, and we're betting on other little things, other numbers, other number group. We bet the 6 and the 8, and bet a hard this or hard anyway. And Jimmy's starting to, no, don't do this, just follow me. We're gonna. And this woman started to look like maybe you know a little more than you let on. So we're doing this, and we may have taken a break, and they brought some drinks over, and TJ's like, man, they give us free drinks. Can you believe that? They just brought right on over to us, and and that girl's party. Man, can you believe that? And he said, all we had to do is stand here, and they give us. He said, that's because you're playing. He says, wow, I'll just stay here and play all night. And he says, hoo. And TJ, 18 years old from Tennessee, I like a Jack Daniels and Coke, ma'am. And she kind of looked at us, and we all looked old enough, so she didn't say anything. We're all in the Navy. Everybody got a drink, and there we are. We're kind of loosening up. Of course, Jimmy doesn't drink. Jimmy's a friend of Bill already, and so here we go. But anyway, it gets to be 7, 8 o'clock, and we're doing pretty good. We've all kind of doubled our money, and the chips are starting to change colors, and I've had a couple of drinks, and TJ's had a couple of drinks, and Bill's had several drinks, and Jimmy's sober as a judge, stone cold, and it's my turn to roll. And by now there's a couple other people, coming around the table, and they're betting along and doing their thing, but they're kind of down the other end. And this is where the story happens, right here. He says, Pat, your turn to roll, and she pushes the dice on over, and he says, come on, roll us a 7, make us some money. So I rolled a 7. All right, and put some more down, and roll another 7, and then rolled another 7, and then rolled another 7, and it was like 4 or 5 of them in a row, and the chips just boom, 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 and Jimmy's like, okay, we're gonna put this over here, we're gonna do that over there, we're gonna bet this, that, we're gonna bet the 2, we're gonna bet the 4, we're gonna bet the 6, and this woman's like, I thought you've never played craps before. Yeah, well, maybe just once or twice here, and anyway, the chips are piling up, and some of the chips are getting raked back, and we toss her a couple, and TJ's like, man, I've never had so much fun in my whole life, and now it's getting to be like 9, 10 o'clock, and the chips have all completely changed colors. And I haven't really noticed. And there are lots of chips. And when I'm talking about lots of chips, I mean lots and lots and lots of chips. And like I said, I probably started, after I paid for dinner for myself, I probably had 70, 80 bucks. We all pitched in, I think, $5 for gas. And literally, I maybe had 60, 70 bucks walking in, and I have no idea. I mean, literally, no idea how much money is there. And now Jimmy's there, and he's kind of getting going. He says, Pat, okay, here's where we're at. He says that we got some money on the table. He says, we're letting it ride. Okay, he says, here's where we're at. He says, you roll anything but a 7. And we all go home driving a new car. Pat, don't fuck this up. Pat. And here comes the dice, right? And he said, Pat, roll any number but a 7. Jesus, please, any number but a 7. And here goes, and Jimmy's like, Pat, oh my God, what'd you do? And all these chips start getting raked in. And I said, Jimmy, how much money was out there? And we're, kind of looking, and there's still chips in front of all of us, It's not like we're broke or anything. Things look pretty good to me. And Jimmy's like, we probably just lost about $15,000. I said, what? What? We lost what? He's like, yeah, he said, but we'd have made about 40 if you'd have rolled anything but a fucking 7. God, what the hell's wrong with you? And so all the chips are there, and we decided we'd kind of stop. And so we take our chips, and TJ's like, you mean there was that much money out there and you didn't say nothing, Jimmy? What the hell's wrong with you? What's it? Like, I had no idea. And Bill's like, he's drunk. So off we go, and we go to the cage. And I left Atlantic City, I'm thinking, with $350, $400, and Jimmy had a couple $100. more than he came with at least. And TJ's like, this is more money I've ever won in my whole life. I can't believe this. And they gave us free drink. Can you believe they gave us free drinks? And Jimmy's like, man, I could have had a brand new Cadillac, but no, Pat had a Roller 7. Mr. O, Roller 7. And we're going through, and we walk back. We got to walk back, and we're walking through Bally's. He says, now you can look at your fucking fish, you homo. You rolled a fucking 7. Jesus Christ, you're killing me. And that was our big story at Atlantic City. But, man, we started driving back, and oh my gosh, that's the longest ride in the whole world. We didn't get home till about 5 in the morning. And we ended up stopping on the north end of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge at some little dive, and we had breakfast. And TJ's like, I can't believe we made all that money, and they just gave us. Jimmy, I had no idea all that money was there. He says, I could have bought my mom a new house in Tennessee for what we had on the table there. And Jimmy's like, yeah, but Pat had a Roller 7. And that's all I heard for about the next 2 weeks is, Pat, come here, I need you to roll a 7, you god damn it, roll a 7. So anyway, I had to tell you this story today about when we went to Atlantic City, and it was Jimmy and Bill and TJ and me, and we had the time of our lives, and we ate like kings at the Bally Buffet, and we looked at the fish. Pat, we're not here to look at the fish, but we stopped and looked at the fish, and we rolled the dice, and we won some money, and we left a whole bunch on the table. And Jimmy will tell you, Pat, we left a whole bunch of money on the table. But I told you this story for a reason today, and I hope you had a good time, and I hope you enjoyed it. But today's Jimmy Grady's birthday, and Jimmy, I want to wish you a happy birthday, and I want you to know that over these last 30 years, you've been a great friend, and I love you, brother. And some of the memories that we had, some of the times that we made, Jimmy, I couldn't replace them in 10 lifetimes. And I love you, brother, and I want to thank you. And, oh, by the way, hey, Jimmy, I'm going to roll a 7. Fuck you. And with that, I picked up the wrong remote, but I'm out. Enjoy the day, have a great Navy day, and know that I love you, baby, no shit.